Good morning out there. Welcome to this morning's edition of the newspapers and OSBC television. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. I have a total of 13 national dailies for review this morning, and the 13th newspaper will feature very prominently in today's edition of the newspapers. I have the Vanguard, the Punch, the Nation, the Guardian, the New Telegraph, Nigerian Tribune, Daily Trust, Business Day, This Day, Leadership, The Point, Daily Sun, Blueprint, newspapers. All of them are here for review this morning. And my regular guest, is being expected in the studio any moment from now. He will join us. But be that as it may, we want to go ahead. From the Vanguard newspaper, feud. How PDP governorship candidates brokered peace with Wike. That is coming on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a minor piece above the masthead. Diaspora funding. Nobody has given me anything. Obi. 2023. Tinubu tackles Obi, says party not threatened by fake statistics. Jobs. Okada riders snatching our wives. Protesting police constables. That's serious. And alleged fraud. Niger Assembly recommend suspension of 15 local government chairmen. That's all. The stories mentioned are from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. We now go to a Punch newspaper this morning. Massive crude oil theft. Angry oil workers blame soldiers' protest today. Pengassan protest to hold in Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, Warri. Union threatens to stop oil production if theft persists. FG retrieve arrested vessel. Captain owner to face prosecution. Then constituency project. GOP 700 billion naira telemedicine center fully. Bandits. Negotiators arrest based on military request. DSS. Now we leave that one for the Nation newspaper. Above the masthead of the Nation newspaper this morning, we have this one, the Nation newspaper. Two brothers confess to chopping off father's hand to roast two cattle. Abuja Kaduna train hostage negotiator in DSS custody. Why Nigerians can't meet OPEC quota. Zulum orders recruitment of 30 F personnel. PDP crisis, uncertainty over Yocha Ayu's fate. IMF asks Nigeria others to take 40 billion climate loan. Tinubu, we are determined to turn Nigeria's fortune around. No lead between party chairman and I, says presidential candidate. But I'll go to the Guardian newspaper. Next meeting, decision day in PDP over Ayu Atiku Wike feud. That is on the front page of the Vanguard, our Guardian newspaper. Tinubu denied plan to sack Adamu, sideline party from campaign council. Those stories are coming from the front page of the Guardian newspaper. We now move from Vanguard to the New Telegraph. New Telegraph newspaper. PDP crisis, 15 NWC members demand Ayu's resignation. Block fund, FG threatened to sanction foreign carriers selling tickets in dollars. Account standard, non-compliant, MDA's risk FG sanction. Adamu, FG began payment of new ASUP salaries from January 2023. Reps asked NAPTED to remit 4.1 billion naira IGR to FG. Article 2023, Article set for war against corruption, diaspora voting reforms, and AGU. DSS, why terrorists don't accept ransom in dollars. Studies ties common fertility treatment to cancer risk in children. We now go to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, and from that newspaper we have this. I didn't speak with any journalist on Tinubu Shatiba ticket. Awolowo Dosunmu. Next meeting, uncertainty in PDP over Ayu Jibrin. I am so confident Adamu will work for my victory. Tinubu. While deported Kaduna train naval negotiator is in our custody, DSS. Police special constabularies protest 18-month unpaid salaries in Osun. That is on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. New welcomes new Olori is on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. APC, INEC set for coalition over Yobe Akwa Ibom senatorial ticket. Ruling party disowns Machina. Ekudom says Lawan and Fabio are valid candidates. Amotekun nabs 3 suspects over abduction of travelers in Ondo. Then we now move to Daily Trust newspaper. From the front page of Daily Trust newspaper comes these headlines. Ayu Walid Jibrin no faith as PDP holds net meeting today. Buhari will withdraw Rex nomination, FG. And I think my guest analyst is already here, and we take the story from where we are now. I'm talking about Barrister Kayode at DVC. Barrister, you're welcome to the program.
It's a pleasure. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, let's start from the front page of Daily Trust newspaper. Bandit negotiator Mamun Nab over 2 billion ransom bracketeering. How will you react to this?
Well, it's a good development because it will be helpful to reveal to the government of the day how it came about negotiating for and on behalf of the bandits, the terrorists. And also, it will also give the background of its own informations, how and when it started all these activities. And more so, the whereabouts of the bandits, the location, should also be able to be tracked. If the DSA can do so from outside Nigeria, how come they have not been able to track the location and the whereabouts of the bandits, so that if possible, they can intelligently get closer to them and do the needful.
Yes, from the Daily Trust newspaper, a little below the masthead, we have this one. ISWAP attack fleeing Boko Haram fighters in Borno. Now, Boko Haram and ISWAP are now at war. What would that affect the public?
It's it is a surplus for the Nigerian people, because by the time they start fighting one another, then the center could no more vote for them. So it's only for the military and other agencies to speed up efforts, to intensify their efforts, so that if they bring these the hits on them vociferously, before we know it, they will surrender, or at least they will be flown out of the country. It's a good development. They have been the loggerhead before for supremacy and issue of space occupation. So, but with the use of Tucano now, particularly in those states in the north where they are staying, then it will reduce drastically their activities.
Business Day is our net port of call. Business Day newspaper, we have this one: foreign investment in agri sector dropped to 5-year low, probably because of the inability of farmers in the north to access their farms. Foreign investment in agri sector dropped to 5-year low. Your take?
Well, I don't see, apart from this of insecurity, the federal government has not really been able to massively engage in agriculture sector, diversifying the economy. We are still monolithic in terms of economic perspective. Emphasis is much more on the oil and other natural resources. So the resources have only come to worsen the situation. That means we have not prepared ahead of the day. The Ukrainian-Russian war, we should be able to be getting a lot of income if we have a very enough robust economy. By now we should be exporting most of our agricultural products. But recently they just signed an agreement with the Polish president. That means in this area of agriculture, the federal government in particular, some states are trying, but the federal government has not done enough. Insecurity has come to make the matter exacerbated.
Yeah, we go to this day newspaper now. From the front page of this day newspaper, we have this one: oil workers begin nationwide rallies against massive oil theft today. This is a very contentious matter.
Well, it's very contentious because the box should be on the table of Mr. President, who is at the same time the Minister of Petroleum. I think he should have relinquished that post to somebody who will have enough time, because the combining with the work of the presidency, it will still Gangatian to him. So he should have relinquished that post to somebody from initial. But I don't think there is any ministry change that can be done now in the next 9 months that will leave the office. So it's very unfortunate that daily the soldiers, other security agents, they are doing this cartel, siphoning the wealth of the nation in the nose of the Mr. President. If you were to be in, just recently, Lagos State Commissioner for Works and Environment resigned because of the building collapse, knowing fully well that he doesn't have the moral justification to remain in that office. So this government, the president also should have resigned his post as minister and let the person who is capable, who is ready to do the work, because the president himself might be pointed at a person finger to. Maybe his hand is not even clean. How can they be stealing thousands of barrels of crude oil and the president will not be able to at least arrest how the ship move into our own territorial sea? They cannot deny it with all the technology they have in that arena, in that environment. It's very unfortunate. It's not believable.
Thank you. Let's move on. The FG to punish airlines selling tickets in dollars. That's another one coming from the.
Which punishment are they going to administer? Because this is foreign airlines, they can easily go to another country. They know fully well the state of the economy, how the nairas have been devalued. They will not have any other option. It's a free market. If you say you sanction them, they will still retain that posture. At the end of the day, they pack out of the country and go to another place. And the travelers, the Nigerians who are affected, will pay dearly for it. So the best thing is for the federal governments to make sure that our own naira is given stronger value. Even if your naira is given stronger value, then they will not want to charge in dollar again. So that is just a free market. They don't force you to pay. You can go to any other airline.
DSS FG requested Mahmoud's arrest extradition. Says he has critical questions to answer. Identifies intelligence gathering as key to winning terror war. That is coming from the federal government.
He has been arrested in Egypt, so they should only do the needful, not just giving him the Igboho or Kano treatment, incarceration without end. That one we will not give the public the confidence again in the effort of the government to fight this terrorism. And even the Sheikh Gumi, who has taken photographs with these bandits, should also be arrested. I don't see any difference between this Mahmoud Toko and Sheikh Gumi in the terms of their reports, romance with the terrorists. So they should balance the thing and let them assist the government if they are going to be used as witnesses. Yeah, they can be used so that they can assist the state in getting to the root of these nefarious people.
Yes, I want to take a minor piece from the front page of the leadership newspaper, quoting Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State. Amatekun should be allowed to bear arms at Akeredolu.
Yeah, that's a statement of fact. If the non-state actors, the so-called unknown government, could get the arms at will for AK-49, AK-47, why not? It's just a matter of time. It will come to reality. There is no way then we can continue to administer our security issue like this. It will not work. On daily basis, we don't know the rate of crimes that are being committed, kidnapping, here and there. So unless and until you beckon to the sense of wisdom, you answer the clarion call for this noble idea, then maybe when we have a new presidency, the necessary thing will be done.
Yes, prosecute all thieves now, Pengerson tells FG.
Well, if the FG hands is clean, they will prosecute the oil thieves. But if the FG's hands are not clean, maybe they also have their own refinery outside the country, and just a matter of time for them to go and settle down there. I don't see anybody that will be prosecuted at the end of the day. So it's very unfortunate, as I said earlier on, that in this 21st century, where we are supposed to have a very watertight security on ground, and this is the only means, the only economy that we rely on. At the same time, it's now in the hand of the non-state actors, with the collaboration of some people within the government. Let us see whether we are going to sustain a kind of this conduct for long.
Yes, we now go to the Point newspaper. Our next port of call is the Point newspaper, and I want to take this one. There are two stories I want to use there. One, Ooni is a polygamist. Ile-Ife Palace chiefs tells monarch's new bride. The Ooni has just taken a new Olori, and she's been told that she's not going to be the last wife of the Aruli Oòduà, as in line with the Yoruba culture and tradition.
Well, the palace has spoken, only that the Ooni himself has not spoken, because it's a private matter. And what I know is that a king of that caliber and status ordinarily not want to jettison tradition, notwithstanding that he's a Christian. So the last wife, I think that one has left. Back to
they only separated, they are not divorced.
They separated, but that's just the language semantics. But the reality of it, she's no more performing the conjugal duties and obligations. That's why this new one came in. So at least it's a good development that at least the KBC cannot be without the Olori Palace. It's part of the tradition.
Yes, INEC says 928,362 PVC still uncollected in Lagos.
They should change the strategy of distributing. Some people cannot go there due to challenges one way or the other. Some are on hospital. So if you change your taxes the way they do in the north, carry this thing to them, identify them. If you are able to identify them, then that will help in distributing the. Unless we do that, the thing will just be lying the other paddle.
Yes, we go to Blueprint newspaper now. 2023 presidential campaign. APC better prepared for power, not bickering like PDP others. Tinubu.
Well, APC also has its own challenges, but not that of, unlike that of PDP truly. At the same time, they should be able to manage the relative peace within the APC. So because by the time they start the campaigning proper now, you will see a lot of issues still being thrown up. So particularly the chairman of the party to ensure that there is level playground for all the parties, all the members of the party. So and for PDP too, it only stands to reason that you cannot have the secretary of the party everything from the north and at the same time. So they are having their meeting today. If reason prevail, I think you according to his own statement should resign honorably.
Yes, we take this one before we go on the program, and Anglican primate cautions against religious ethnic politics. Yes, that's the primate of the Anglican Church, the Most Reverend Henry Ndukuba, talking here. Cautioning Nigerians against religious and ethnic politics.
Well, you cannot do without it, particularly in this Buhari presidency. There is so much division in terms of religion and ethnicity. But what I know is that what we are facing in Nigeria today is not about who is a Muslim or Christian, but somebody who can provide solution.
Yeah.
So the issue of whether you preach for one party or the other in your church, and you'll be sanctioned for maybe it will not work. People have the freedom of choice, and to express it so far it is not illegal.
Yeah.
So even the traditionalists, they have the right. We only focus on the Muslim and Christian. What of the so many other sects? So everybody has the right to preach for whom they believe in that can do the but the only thing is that don't force your members of the church that
to vote for somebody.
No, express your own.
Let them vote their conscience.
Let them vote their conscience and their own belief.
ASU, no going back or no work, no pay policy. FG.
FG has said that they are going to review that policy, but the ASU is now being blamed by at least by 60%, 70% of people. That means they are just too adamant. They should let the reasoning prevail and go back to the school. Their main work is teaching. They follow by research. It's only when you teach people that you can say you are imparted your knowledge you got in the research. But if you are not teaching, and you yourself you are not, except for a few of them who are the top echelon in the ASU that get money investment outside the country, the vast majority of rank and file, they depend on salaries, so they are suffering. So let's go back to school. They have already wasted their section now. In the university it's 3 months, some university is 4 months. Now I've spent for 7 months now. Technically the whole section has been paralyzed. So yes, still want to collect that money for the whole 7 months. So they should do so in good conscience.
Thank you very much, Barrister Kayode Adebisi, for coming on the program. And I want to thank you, our viewers, on behalf of the executive producer of the program, Akinola Wolabi, and the producer, Oluwatoyin Yusuf, and my guest, Barrister Kayode Adebisi. I say thank you. And tomorrow, our colleagues will be in the house for the presentation of this